Hi guys, we're on to lesson 5. So this should be your second video for your online learning. Don't be discouraged, it's not too difficult. All we're learning is about zero and negative exponents. So our first fact to know is that any number to the 0 power is 1. So if you look down here, 5 to the 0 power equals 1, x to the 0 power equals 1. So if I ask you when you come into class, what is a to the 0 power, you should automatically tell me 1. Our second part that we're going to learn is all about what a negative power is. So if you have any number to the negative n power, it is the multiplicative inverse of its nth power. Now that's a lot of math talk, so we're just going to break that down in an example. If we have 7 to the negative third power, we're just going to take its reciprocal, which is just 1 over 7 to the third power, and we're going to not include the negative sign. So you just have to remember that 7/3 goes to the bottom, and there is no negative sign once it moves. So watch out for that. That's typically the one mistake that happens with this lesson. We're moving on to our example. 6 to the negative third power, we know right away to do 1 over 6 to the third power. We just bring it down and get rid of that negative exponent. So we're going to go to example 2, a to the negative 5. We're going to move that down below 1 and not include the negative sign. So it's just 1 over a to the 5th. So you guys go ahead and do a, b, and c. C should be an easy one to answer. Anything to the 0 power equals 1. Okay. So now we are going to take our fractions and rewrite them using a negative exponent. So this is just going in the reverse order. So we see that 5 seconds is on the bottom. We're going to bring it to the top and include that negative sign. So your answer for 3 should just be 5 to the negative second power. Okay, this says that we have to use a negative exponent other than -1. So naturally, you would think that we would do 36 to the negative first power, but instead, we are going to take the square root of 36. That is 6. So we know that 6 squared equals 36. So we're going to put 1, oh, not 1. So we're going to take 6 squared, and we're just going to rewrite that with the negative exponent. Okay, so for E and G, just remember to bring it to the top and make the exponent negative. We have our last 2 examples. I'm trying to keep our videos short. Feel free to pause it and re-listen. But we're just multiplying 5/3 times 5 to the negative 5th power. So what we're doing here is referring back to lesson 2 or 3, where we are multiplying our monomials and exponents. So when we multiply, we talked about this in class, we add exponents. And when we divide, we subtract exponents, right? So if we're looking at number 6, we find our bases, which is 5 and 5. And then we're just going to add our exponents. So we're going to do 3 plus -5. So you can always check with your calculator if you'd like, but I know that 3 plus -5 leaves us with a -2 exponent. And now we're applying our new knowledge. If it's a negative exponent, we know to bring it to the bottom, get rid of the negative sign, put it under 1. So for 7, we're dividing, so we're subtracting exponents. We're finding our base, which is w. Then we're going to do -1 minus -4. And what I like to do is I know that subtracting a negative is like adding a positive, so I turn these into plus signs. -1 plus 4 will give us 3. So that's a positive exponent, so we don't need to rearrange it and switch it. That's just our answer. So you guys are going to work on J, I, and M. Remember, multiplying exponents means that we add them, and dividing means we subtract them. Make sure you pay attention to your signs and you do the math carefully. That's all we have. See you next week.